over here in America. And when I say America, I'm talking about America and the EU and NATO. You got something?
Psalms chapter 75, verse 5. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
And that's plain. And I just mentioned the empires, the kingdoms that were set up, and they thought they would never go down, and they went down. So now what are they? They're history. You go to a museum and look at the relics and the paintings and the wall releases and the frescoes and the mosaics and the icons of these ancient civilizations. So guess what? America's going to be history too. All right? Go ahead.
Job chapter 15, verse 20. The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of years is hidden to the oppressor. A dreadful sound is in his ears, in prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at his hand. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. They shall prevail against him as a king ready to the battle.
In other words, that's talking about the elite. They know that it's going to get bad out here. But they're not telling the average person. All right, is that it on that? Okay, now let's go back to the article. Go ahead.
All right, this is on page 25. It says, mull that over for a moment. Is there a more apt description of Europe today? Politically and economically and even culturally, Europe is a continent of iron and clay. Some nations like Germany are strong and robust, others are weak and fragile. The European Union is a mixture of both iron and clay, making it partly strong and partly broken. But remember, the feet and toes of iron and clay are integrated, but only for a brief moment. Based on this prophecy, the trumpet forecasts the emergence of this short-lived and crumbly, yet overwhelmingly powerful, possessing the strength of iron European superstate.
Right, so when this place crumbles, guess who's going to follow suit? America. America's going to crumble right along with it. Go ahead.
He was right. Notice what the late Herbert W. Armstrong wrote in 1956 about this final resurrection of the Roman Empire. It will possess greater military might by far than the Rome of old, but it will also inherit fatal weaknesses. Prophecy symbolizes this admixture of never equal.
You notice he spoke about the Rome of old. He's telling you that this is the revised Roman Empire. Go ahead.
It says prophecy symbolizes this admixture of never equaled military might and unprecedented weakness with the apt phrase iron mixed with miry clay. The European nations will unite militarily, but they are suspicious and envious of each other. They hate one another. You see, Mr. Armstrong and the trumpet today was not ignorant of the rudimentary differences between many of Europe's countries, cultures, and peoples. He understood and consistently took into account geopolitics and international relations, which is partly why he concluded that the European states that comprised the last resurrection of the Roman Empire.
Read that again. Read that again.
Which is partly why he concluded that the European states that comprised the last resurrection of the Roman Empire would be suspicious and envious of each other in this scene. Mr. Armstrong, decades ago, anticipated and warned of the current tumult besieging Europe. Neither Mr. Armstrong nor Gerald Fleury and the trumpet have ever taught that Europe would coalesce into a long-term and stable power. Rather, we have prophesied consistently that while Europe will unite, its bonds will be weak and short-lived, like the bond between clay and iron. The last, final brief resurrection of the Holy Roman Empire by 10 European groups or nations is forming, Mr. Armstrong wrote, and they shall last but a very short space, possibly no more than 2 or 3.5 years. Plain truth.
It's going to be shorter than that. This man ain't going no, this system, the EU's not going to go no 2.5, 3 years. Too many things are happening. Go ahead.
Plain Truth, May 1979. If you think on it a while, this truly is mind-staggering. This prophecy was written more than 2,500 years ago, yet it describes present-day Europe perfectly. Moreover, it reconciles the seemingly contradictory viewpoints about Europe espoused today by the Trumpet and other analysts. Yet this prophecy has value far beyond merely being informative. The most inspiring detail, verses 34 to 35, show that King Nebuchadnezzar in his dream saw a giant stone fall from heaven and smash the images.
Yeah, this is talking about Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Go ahead.
Fall from heaven and smash the images' feet of iron and clay.
That's talking about when Yahweh comes back and the Most High raises up the armies of Israel, and we're going to take this place down, man. There's going to be race riots in this country. There's going to be revolts over there in Europe. You're going to be in the midst of a third world war. And when the Russians shoot their missiles on this country, and by the way, before the EU goes down, it's going to shoot missiles on this country. Okay? Go ahead.
The image then toppled with each part, the gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay being pulverized into...
Yeah, the gold was the Babylonians, the silver breast was the Persian, the Medes, the belly of, what's that? The bronze belly was the Greeks, the thigh of iron is the ancient Roman Empire, and then the toes on the bottom is a revived Roman Empire, which America is a part of that. Go ahead.
The image then toppled with each other, with each part, the gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay being pulverized into dust-sized pieces, after which the entire structure was blown away by the wind like chaff. The entire image vanished. It was like it had never existed.
Yeah, because that's when the kingdom of heaven is going to be established, when Yahweh Shai comes back and set up the children of Israel. And all these other nations are going to be slaves under us. Go ahead.
Of all the magnificent details in this vivid prophecy...
So these Edomites that call themselves scholars, and they involve themselves in the prophecies of the Bible, if they go deep enough and they're honest, they're going to tell you that they're going into slavery, man. Because they know that they're part of one of the parts of metal of this statue in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. It says that he said that it was pulverized. The feet was pulverized, and the whole statue was destroyed. Go ahead.
It says, of all the magnificent details in this vivid prophecy, the stone that strikes the feet of the image is by far the most significant and most inspiring.
That's Yahweh Shai. Which to this day, they don't even know the name of Yahweh Shai. They call him Yahshua, and they call his father, the Most High, Yahweh. And the Most High set it up that way. Go ahead. Then you got simple-ass niggas that woke up to the fact that they're Israelites, but they'll follow behind Esau with the word Yahweh and the word Yahshua. But keep teaching that, because you ain't meant to have the name of the Lord anyway. Go ahead.
It says, the most significant and most inspiring detail of all. This stone is the focal point of this entire prophecy. Daniel explains the stone in verse 44, and in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom.
In the days, read that again.
It says, and in the days of these kings,
and in the days of these kings,
shall the Most High, the power of heaven, set up a kingdom.
Set up a kingdom. You need people to have a kingdom. So what kingdom is it talking about? The Most High establishing the kingdom through his son, through the nation of Israel, through the people of the nation of Israel. You ain't gonna have no Edomites in our kingdom. Well, you're gonna have Edomites in our kingdom and the other nations, but guess what? They're gonna be playing the part of slaves. They're gonna be under us. All right? Go ahead.
Luke 17 and 20. And when he was demanded of the Pharisees when the kingdom of the Most High should come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of the Most High cometh not with observation,